What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moose Milk Podcast. This is episode 72. 72. I'm just going to start right off the bat saying I apologize for my voice. I've been sick all week, so I may be clearing my throat a little bit and coughing. I apologize, but yeah, I've been really sick all week, so not much I can do about it. Hope everybody else is doing well, though. Gonna wait for Mr. at Customs by Matthew to join us, and we will get started on Obi Wan Kenobi episode 1 and 2 with spoilers. So just be prepared for that. We will be spoiling it, even though it just came out today. You've had your time. Here's Matthew. Possibly. There it is.
Hi.
How are you?
You know, fucking here, man.
Oh, I know. I see you.
How are you?
I've been very, very sick.
Yeah, I saw your Facebook thing. That's not good. You have the flu?
Yeah, I thought I had COVID, but
Still not
apparently
tested
not.
positive? That's good. I mean,
tested
it's good
six
as...
times, but yeah, I was really, really sick. I almost called an ambulance on Tuesday. So
That sucks, man. I just realized I'm sitting here puffing away while we're doing this. Oops.
no, it's all good.
I'm at my in-laws, so I'm allowed to puff in the work shed here.
It's beauty, man. It's beauty. That's living life right there.
It is a beauty. Absolutely.
What else do you do? What have you been up to?
I had a fucking busy week, man. It was annoying. Yeah, I screwed up my my flight, so I thought next week I was leaving Friday night, like overnight into Saturday morning flight. But
Right.
I screwed up, and I'm actually supposed to be going Thursday, so I spent like all day Thursday this week trying to like rebook my flights, change my flights, and change my hotels, and it was really fucking annoying.
Did they let you or no?
Yeah, they let me. I had to pay a lot, but whatever. I just expense it anyway, so I don't really give a shit. But
Yeah, I guess it's not your body, but who cares?
yeah, I tried to make it as cheap as possible, but I'm like, nah, it's not cheap. So
Well, what can you do?
what do you do? Just fucking live, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, for people that maybe haven't paid attention, this is our last episode for a month because
For a
Matt will be
month?
traveling, then I am on vacation. So we won't be
Yeah.
back until June 24th, I believe.
Yeah, or something like that.
I believe it's June 24th.
Yes, because you're gone 10th or I'm gone 10th and you're gone 17th.
Yeah.
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 So
24th.
the
So I think
next
that's the
episode-
last. That'll be the last episode of Kenobi that week, I think. Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah, so when we come back, we will recap all of Obi Wan Kenobi after this first 2 episodes. So we'll just do like a whole season spoiler cast. We'll probably just do a whole episode dedicated to that, and then maybe the next episode we'll dedicate completely to Miss Marvel.
Right. When does that start again?
June 8th.
God damn.
So we'll have like 2 or 3 episodes to talk about that.
Cool. I also am going to go see Jurassic Park at some point too, I think.
I would like to do that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go the 10th, and then obviously I'm on vacation, so I'm going to have to figure it out. But if possible, yeah, we can talk about that as well.
Yeah. I'm going to go and see it on that. I think I had mentioned it on the show before, but that Screen X, did I tell you about that? It's that new Cineplex thing. It's like a screen, like a big like wraparound screen. And it's like,
Okay.
The idea is it's like a fully immersive, like, full aerial view of like being in a shot kind of thing.
No, that's what IMAX is supposed to be, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not because IMAX doesn't really have the curved screen. It's just humongous. So
Well, like an actual IMAX screen is supposed to be curved, I think, slightly on the sides.
Yeah,
But
it is a little bit. This is way different though. This is like fully.
we don't have an
around.
actual IMAX screen here, so like our
Yeah,
IMAX screens like fucking. Well, now we don't even have one because they closed
They
the
closed
other
Silver
theaters.
City.
But
Yeah.
but that was like half an IMAX screen. Like it's not a real IMAX screen.
Yeah. Well, I went to an IMAX theater to see Doctor Strange when I went last week with my buddy.
Yeah.
We saw it in IMAX, but this one's different. There's only 5 of them in Canada. So, and downtown Vancouver is one of them. So I think it's like a test thing to see how it does. So I want to check it out and see. So I'm thinking about if Jurassic Park's playing at it, I'm thinking about going and seeing Jurassic Park there and doing that.
No, it'd be awesome. I wish we had something cool like that, but
Yeah.
again, I live in a shitty city in fucking Canada, so.
Hey, that's not true. It's expensive to live there.
Yeah, it's expensive to live here, and there's literally nothing to do.
There's nothing, yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of shit to cover. Fuck, I forgot all about Miss Marvel. Jumping right into Miss Marvel, did you hear? It seems like a lot of the kind of first reactions coming out, everyone's saying it's very charming. Seems like it's very, very positive. Did you happen to see any
I don't
of it?
think it's going to be negative. Like, it's very rare when a Marvel thing comes out and everybody's like, this sucks. Like, critically, they're all pretty well received. Now, whether it's going to be up our alley or if it's going to be geared towards like a family friendly, young audience, like, I think that's just it can be charming, but it cannot be up. It might not be for us.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like, Toy Story 4 was charming. I wouldn't like go out of my way to watch it again, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I can see the appeal to that movie for like a family friendly audience. It's a well made movie. It's just same as Miss Marvel. Like, it could be a well done show. It just might not be great for us.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, but I was happy to see that the first reactions seemed to be like mostly positive. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hopefully, awesome. Like, I'd love to be wrong and go into it and be like, wow, I really like this.
The nice thing is for this one is I'm going in with low expectations, and it's also about a character that I literally know next to nothing about. So
I only know a little bit about her from the video game that they put out, the Avengers or whatever.
That's
it
right.
was.
I forgot she was in that.
But I only played a little bit of it. Like, it wasn't a very well played game, so anyway. But
I remember that.
I didn't know much about it. Yeah. But
so, what did you watch this week, or what did you?
I could go on for 7 days about what I watched this week.
Well, because you were sick, because you weren't working.
I only worked 2 days this week because of the holiday, and I was sick, so I called in sick 2 days. So I actually pretty much only watched television and slept for the majority of the week.
That sounds great.
So yeah, so I mean, I've got down to the last 50 episodes of X-Files. So I watched, I don't know, another 20 or so this week. Just steaming through them. Season 7 was pretty weak overall. I think season 7 is probably the weakest season so far.
How many seasons is there again?
11, but like the last 2 are like the more recent like comeback seasons or whatever.
Yeah.
So it ended originally in season 9. But season 8, like, it was a huge shift for the show because David's company left the show, basically.
Okay.
They replaced like the main character with Robert Patrick from Terminator 2.
Okay.
Like the Terminator in Terminator 2, not Arnold, but the other one that's like, liquid metal and shit.
Yeah. T-1000.
Yeah, so that's Robert Patrick. He became like one of the lead characters with Gillian Anderson in season 8 and 9.
Weird.
David's company kind of left the show. So he's in like 6 episodes for the rest of the series. But yeah, so I don't know. Like, everybody shits on the change of like the lead character and everything like that, but like I actually like really liked it. I think season 8 so far is like really strong. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm digging it. But other than that, so Stranger Things season 4 came out today. I finished it.
All of it?
Took me, 9 hours. I just finished it about 7 minutes before we started.
Holy shit.
Excuse me. So I won't spoil it for people because obviously it came out today. It's 7 episodes. Most people probably haven't finished it by now, but I love Stranger Things. I'm super nostalgic for like the 80s, even though I was born in 85. Like, I wasn't really cognizant of the 80s, but like I love the 80s.
But it's those 80s movies that we loved, like growing up,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And Stranger Things is just like reeks of 80s nostalgia. It's, you know, neon. It's before cell phones, before the internet. It's, you know, roller rinks and video games. And like, this is just straight up, you know, talks to me. So I'm a huge fan of Stranger Things. And season 4 is great. I mean, it's pulling on the same heartstrings of the 80s vibes. It's well acted. It's well written. The episode lengths, I know, are going to be a turnoff for people, and there are already people complaining about it, but I love it.
What,
like,
too long or too short? Or
way long. Like, there's the last episode of the series, of the season, like, they're splitting it into 2 parts, so there's 7 episodes out now, and the last 2 episodes are going to come out in July of the season.
Okay.
So the 7th episode, that, like, the last episode
the
of this
cliffhanger?
part,
Yep.
yeah, it's hour and 40 minutes long.
Ooh,
And
it is long. Are they usually like an hour?
Yeah. Every episode this season is basically between an hour and 15 minutes and an hour and 20 minutes long.
Damn,
and
that's crazy.
The last episode of the season, I guess, is over 2 hours.
I've been.
It's basically a movie. So I don't know. I love it. Like I wish more shows would just get rid of like, oh, we have to do like a 40-minute thing. Like I like the aspect.
I get it though. I get having it stick to a certain time limit.
I think if you're willing to sit down for a 2-hour movie, then what's the difference if you're willing to sit down for a 2-hour episode of a show? Like,
for me, it's because more is not always better.
I agree. Not one of these episodes felt long to me though. Like I just binged the last 6 episodes since I woke up, or the last 5 episodes since I woke up. So from like 6 p.m. till now, I watched 6 episodes in a row, or 5 episodes in a row. None of it feels long. Like it all feels like it completely works. It's all about an hour, 15 minutes long, and I wasn't like bored or anything like that. So to me, like the episode lengths work fine for the show because it didn't feel like, oh god, get on with it. We're just wasting time here. But, I can understand like people are like, hey, I have 30 minutes after the kids are to bed to watch an episode of something or whatever, and I don't have an hour and a half to sit there and binge a show. So
yeah. That's
I can see it losing some people because of that, but like for me, it was perfect. So I don't know. I really recommend. It's
still compelling. You can always just stop it after an hour. If you can only invest an hour, then you invest an hour, and that's it.
Or you watch an episode a day or whatever. Like you don't have to binge just because it's available to binge. I love binging shows, but
Ryan's just fucking weird because he can finish a whole season of hour and a half long episodes and no time.
That's me.
That's you.
Also want to throw out a shout out to the show Shoresy that concluded today in Canada. It's on Crave. I think it's going to Hulu in the States. It's a spin-off of Letterkenny. It's all about like Canadian hockey, basically. It's really, really funny, really, really good. It's only 6-episode season, but the last 2 episodes came out today, and they're also really, really good. And then obviously I watched Obi Wan.
Yep.
And I think that's it.
Sweet deal, man.
Watching some hockey and shit too, but
right, hockey playoffs.
So, how about you, man?
We watched season 1 of Barry this week. It's fucking good, man. Wow,
you liked
really
it?
Good. Yeah, I really liked it. It took me a couple episodes before I was like we would get to the end because we don't really do a lot. We'll usually do like 2 episods a night, maybe a third one.
Sure.
I think it was like 8 episodes or something like that. The first season was, but man,
I think I watched the first 2 and I bounced, but maybe the first one.
I want to say that like by the end of the third one, I was like, ooh, let's keep going. So I think it gets to a point where it starts to get to, how sometimes that's just how it is, right? A couple episodes, it's whatever. And then you get to a point where it leaves you in a cliffhanger and then you want to get to the next one. And it does that a few times. So it's very funny. It was good and funny, and Bill Hader's fucking amazing in it. He's so fucking good. And there's just so many little fucking hilarious, like little things like you see in the background or a little, and there's such the attention to detail, just those little extra bits to go, just to push it over the edge in terms of comedy, just one little inch more, and
Is it like gory or is it?
No, it's not gory.
No.
It's about.
But he's like an assassin or something, right?
Yeah. So basically, he's like, without giving too much away, the first season focuses around he's an assassin, and he's supposed to he's supposed to kill this guy, but instead he gets close to him by joining his acting class, and then all of a sudden he decides that he wants to be an actor, and he starts falling for this girl who's in his class, and then it's this balance of him trying to keep this life of being an assassin and keeping his secret life of being an assassin from his friends in his acting class, and it's just it's pretty funny, man. There's some.
I'll have to get into it.
Yeah, there's this guy, one of the mob guys. His name's Hank. He has another name, but it's his name's Hank, and he's so fucking funny. There's just so many little things that he'll do, and he's just super flamboyant, and it's great, man. It was a ton of fun. So yeah, we watched all of season 1, and we got 1 or 2 episodes into season 2, I think. So it's already starting to kind of pick up. Even at the end of season 1, it kind of wraps it all up nicely. But then I think right when we get into season 2, it immediately kind of takes off, and it's oh yeah.
Great. I'll have to once I'm done X-Files, I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, I recommend it. It was a lot of fun. And again, I guess if you like Bill Hader, you can you can see his his hands kind of all over it, right, with the writing and stuff. It's lots of little subtle things that are just great. So, I also finished watching Star Wars Episode 2. I was trying to get through all 3 before Obi Wan, but I couldn't. I just didn't have time. So, and it was fine. I kind of think after rewatching them, I kind of think that Episode 2 is the worst one. I actually think it might be worse than Phantom Menace.
So originally, when I seen them all 3 in theaters, coming out of the theaters, 2 was my favorite one. And
Me too.
I think it was just because of the end battle scene with
Clone
the
Wars.
Clone Troopers and everything like that.
Yep.
But rewatching them more recently, definitely episode 1's I think the best of the 3. I hate the third one. I think the third one's awful. But
you think the Episode 1 is the best of the 3?
yeah.
No, I think Episode 3 is for sure the best of the 3. But
I'd say
3, 1, 2.
3 is just so a kid smashing toys together for 3 hours. It's not even a fucking good, well-made movie, and the acting is so bad in 3. I just can't get it.
The problem with the prequels is there's so much story that's left on the table, and there's so many missing things that if you had that information, it would make it so much better. Which is what the Clone Wars, the TV show, the Clone Wars does. Basically fills in a lot of those storylines, and it bridges 2 and 3. But I mean, on the same page, there's a pretty good chunk of time between each of those 3 movies, so a lot can happen. Even going from Episode 1 to Episode 2, it's
10 years.
Yeah, the opening crawl in Episode 10 is set, or in Episode 2 is set it feels like it's 10 years in the future, and it's just we're at war, and this guy's here, and this guy's here, and it's dude.
Well, Anakin goes from 8-year-old to 18.
Yeah, true. There you go. But it's just, I don't. 2 really suffers from some pretty bad CGI.
All those movies have some really
bad CGI.
They're great in their time, but it's my dog making a nest. No, he's playing with a toy that he's digging into the open. When there's a little squeaker in a toy, he has to get the squeaker out and destroy it. And so he's trying to get the squeaker out, but he can't do it. But
that's funny. That's funny. And then we also watched that thing you do with Tom Hanks and Colin Hanks.
I haven't seen it since it came out.
Oh yeah, Kate was watching it one night, so I was like, "Oh, I'll watch that." So I sat down and watched that. It was pretty good.
Right on.
As a former band guy, I was like, I get it. What's that?
That's a busy week for you. You watched a lot.
I know, I did watch a lot, yeah. And then I watched my usual toy shows. And I think this weekend, so I'm at my in-laws this weekend. Kate's staying the weekend and then going to Montreal on Sunday, I think, or Monday.
Oh, wow.
So I think this weekend I'm probably going to watch, I want to watch Chippendale Rescue Rangers. I listened to a podcast, like the Weekly Planet, and they talked about it and they got me so hyped for it. There seems like there's a lot of good little bits in there. So
My friend Brett is also a huge Lonely Island fan and Andy Samberg fan, and he said, absolutely watch it. He's like, you'll love it because it's so Lonely Island and it's so geared towards adults.
I heard there's some songs. There's like a song about a hippopotamus or something, and apparently it's like really funny. So
he said like people our age will love it because it's definitely aimed at us rather than like kids.
Here's like it's more of a cameo spoiler. I don't know anything really about the character, but apparently ugly Sonic, the Sonic from the first trailer that they took out because he was so ugly and fans hated it. Apparently he's in it and he's voiced by Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave. And apparently he's just like super annoying and is just like always hanging around and stuff.
The fact that like that ugly Sonic was actually like going to come out in a movie is just insane to me.
I know, so crazy.
But like
an example of the people, they're just so disconnected. They don't know what people want.
Well, originally, like for the video game, right? Like I don't know if you know this, but like the original video game when it was going to come out, they basically. Well, this is going to be a long, convoluted story, but Sega was mostly here in Japan, right? And they wanted to break into the American market, so they were like basically getting American businessmen to like decide what to launch, basically to get big and popular in the States. And so they showed them Sonic for the first time before it had come out, and Sonic was like hideous, I guess. And the Japanese were like, "This is going to be so popular," and the Americans were like, "This thing's hideous. Like nobody's ever going to play this game." And so, like, American designers and business people went into, like, Sega Japan, basically, and, like, changed his image to make him look more, like, friendly. And so they changed. So, like, I think maybe that was part of the plan for the movie, too. I don't know. Like, I don't know how you get that, like, weird human thing.
Yeah, me neither. I don't get that. Whoever was trying to come up with that one, they missed the mark in a big way.
I'm drinking Rockstar.
I'm drinking bubbly, moose milk flavored bubbly.
If we could get a deal with bubbly to put out a moose milk flavor.
It's like a mix of like maple and like dog milk. Or moose milk, I guess would make more sense.
That sounds disgusting. I recommend bubbly does not listen to our marketing ideas.
That does sound pretty fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Chippendale probably sometime this week.
I think this weekend I'm going to try to find some time to do it. So I have to work this weekend, which fucking sucks. But
you got to stop doing that.
I don't usually work on weekends. I'm pretty good about not working on weekends. But this weekend, unfortunately, I have to. It's time-sensitive shit. It has to get done. So,
yeah, well, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Lindsay. Is Danielle Lindsay? Like Lindsay?
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, friend. You both look superb. You smell terrific.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got to work decently next week because I missed so much time this week, but vacation's coming up, so I'm excited.
Yeah, we booked a trip to Amsterdam in August.
Dude, that's sweet.
Yeah, man, pretty good.
I'm jealous.
So, we were gonna go to East Coast Canada. We were gonna go to Newfoundland, but we decided instead it's more expensive to go to Newfoundland than it is to go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So
traveling within Canada is just stupid pricey, and it doesn't make any sense.
And apparently there's like a rental car shortage on the East Coast, apparently. Yeah. So, our plan was to do day trips and like drive places. So, good thing we changed.
Yeah, no,
I rent a car.
I have a feeling you'll have more fun in Amsterdam anyway, so.
I agree.
Yeah.
We should talk about Obi Wan.
We should talk about Obi Wan. Do you want to go first?
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. You like that? It's a good
I did.
impression.
It's very well done, sir. You should be the voice actor for the future cartoons. I absolutely loved it.
Wow, really? I didn't expect you to say that.
I think it might be my favorite Star Wars thing since Rogue One.
Wow, that's really good. You think it's better than Mando?
Yeah,
Wow. I liked it too. I really liked it.
I loved every moment of it. I thought it was really dark and cool and aimed at like adults and not aimed at kids. And my biggest fault on it was I think the child. Oh, spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen.
Yes.
Obi Wan.
Yes.
We are
We're definitely talking spoilers.
So that's your warning. If you have not seen Obi Wan episode 1 or 2, bounce now. The actress that plays young Leia, I thought was obnoxious as shit.
Mm.
That was my most annoying part of the entire thing. Was like this kid's fucking obnoxious, but other than that, I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal.
Initially, I thought Leia was kind of annoying also, but then I kind of realized as we continued to move along that the idea was that she was playing this kid who's so smart. And at first I was just like, this kid seems pretty on the fucking point for like a 10-year-old. And then I realized as we moved along, the idea was they were trying to sell her as this like before her age kind of kid that like, you know, knows what the fuck's up and she's only 10, right? So it's like, once I kind of got to that point, I was like, okay, I guess I get it. And like, she's 10. She's going to be fucking annoying. Kids are annoying.
Yeah, well, I agree. I just, like, she was constantly, like, just a fucking nuisance. And, like, for being so smart, she constantly fucks everything up. And I'm just like, okay, this kid.
But again, though, that's like, everything she was doing, like, I bought. Like, it's not like it's weird to me that she isn't trusting. Someone just tried to kidnapped her, and now somebody else is kidnapping her, saying one thing, and then he's not actually. So it's like, I get it. I know. I agree with what you're saying to a degree, but it's like I also feel like she played what she was supposed to be playing. But in my opinion, after I finished the second episode, the thing that stood out to me is the thing I disliked the most was the same thing. It was also Leia. Not that I didn't like the dynamic, but I just thought she was a little bit obnoxious.
It was so like basically Grogu again. Like, I mean, it's very much like, hey, this this young thing that like can't protect itself, you got to protect it. I mean, it's very similar to Mandalorian. But I'm fine with that. Like, I like the aspect that it doesn't really work in a story sense because I mean, there's so many like things later on in Star Wars that kind of counteracts what's going on. But I mean, whatever, I'm fine with it.
What do you mean?
Well, like Obi-Wan, like when he meets Leia for the first time, doesn't like. Oh, there's no like, hey, you saved me as a child. Like, she just acts like she's never met him before, and like, you know, like stuff like that. Where I'm like, okay, like they make it seem like he's never left Tatooine after he landed there. He's just this old hermit that lives there and whatever. And like, clearly there was this big adventure that he went on. And I don't know. I mean, they can make it work, and I'm fine with it. Like, I don't care. It's not that.
I think I kind of treat it a lot like MCU, where I'm just like, when you have such an expansive amount of content, sometimes it's hard to not step on your own toes. And it's like, especially when you're comparing it to a movie that came out like 50 years ago.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So, like, because it's the same even with like Vader and Obi-Wan, like I remember when I watched episode 4 the first time, and the vibe I got was that Anakin or that Vader didn't know that Obi-Wan was alive, and that Obi-Wan knew that Vader was alive. And then after watching this, it seems like it's the opposite. We find out that Vader's alive, and Obi-Wan's like, Anakin's alive? And then, and then it's like, oh, he's been looking for you for 10 years. It's like, all right, so that's kind of different too, right? So,
but I mean, I assume like at some point during the series they're going to interact at some point or have like a battle or whatever. Like,
there's no way we're not getting a battle. We're getting a battle, right? For sure. So
you got to assume that's the end of the series, or at episode 6 is going to be some kind of battle where obviously nobody wins and they go their separate ways, and Kenobi goes back to Tatooine or whatever. But I think you could think of it as maybe like that battle end where Vader thinks he had killed Kenobi. or something like that, and then Kenobi's like injured or whatever, and he decides to just like spend the rest of his days on Tatooine, and so maybe that's why, like Vader thinks he's dead is because he thinks he killed him, and meanwhile he's just in hiding for the rest of the rest of
maybe
the next
maybe
week.
I guess we'll find out as we kind of when we move through this and see.
Yeah, but no, I thought it was really cool, and like I loved how it picked up like right as Order 66 is going off and everything like that. Cool. Like I thought that was really cool. It was nice to see them like immediately go super like adult with it and just be like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill all these younglings off and like no problem. Like I like that. All these Jedi fucking trying to defend them and getting blasted and shit. I was like, yeah, this is dope.
How do you like the Inquisitors? You're familiar with the Inquisitors because you played the game, right?
I played a bit of the game. I didn't play a lot of it, but I didn't really like it that much. But I thought they were cool. I like the idea of them. I like that they're hunting Jedi. I like that they're like, I guess the third sister is like an ex-Jedi or something.
They're all fallen Jedi. They all turn.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. I like that idea a bit. I think that's really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they're badass. Like I wanted to see more of them, and I was bummed that it looks like the Grand Inquisitor is dead, but I assume he's not. But I don't know.
He can't be dead because he's in Star Wars Rebels, which takes place after this. So there's got to be something else happening there.
But is he like part, like is he like part robot or something, or like what is his thing?
So in Star Wars Rebels, I don't know if you remember you probably don't because it's been so long, but Episode 3, when Obi-Wan gets to that planet where General Grievous is hiding, and he goes to that dock and he talks to that dude that has that big red thing that goes up his head and there's like lines on his head and it's kind of long. So that's what the Grand Inquisitor looks like in one of my biggest annoyances with this is like, especially after seeing, is that like when I see him face on like up front and it's close, I think he looks pretty okay. But it's like as he walks, he looks like a swollen version of the animated version because it's like his head's kind of fat and like he's not like slender and like long, he's like kind of puffy, and it's just like it's probably my biggest thing I dislike, and like I'm sure there's a good valid reason for it, so like whatever, it doesn't like take away from my experience, but it's just he could look so much scarier than he does. But yeah, I thought I love the Inquisitors. I love something. There's got to be something with Reva, or is that her name? Reva, I think her name is. The third sister. Yeah. So like, there's got to be something. Like she obviously knows something. She knows that Anakin's Vader. Like that's not public knowledge. So like, she obviously knows something. Maybe she has some history. I don't know, but
did you pick up on seeing Flea as the bounty hunter?
I didn't until I listened to a podcast after. I mean, I recognized him. I was like, who the fuck is that? I know that face. Who is that? And then I realized after that it was him. Very cool.
I thought that. I was like, holy shit, Flea's in this. Goddamn.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Did you happen to notice the guy who plays Boba Fett was one of the 501st clones that was sitting there with his helmet out begging for spare some change? I was like, oh, that's so cool.
It's very cool. I love the little touchstones that it pulls back on from the prequels, even though I think the prequels are really bad movies, but I love that it pulls little elements from them and sprinkles them in. And
I think this is going to do what Rogue One did for Episode 4. Not that Episode 4 needed help, but like to me, after I saw Rogue One, I had a deeper appreciation for Episode 4. And I feel like this is going to do that for the prequels. Because even seeing Obi-Wan, it's like, it's amazing what you can do with an actor who's a good actor, who's under good direction with a good script. Like,
totally. And like we've never really gotten, like outside of the end of Rogue One, we've never really gotten a badass fucking Vader thing. Like I really want to see Vader as a young man, like going off and fucking destroying people. And I hope we get that. Yeah, like I think that would be awesome to see in a live action thing. I hope like the next few episodes we get a lot of Vader.
I think they're really going to play up the pain that he has from wearing that suit.
Yeah.
Because in the comic books, they talk about it a lot, about how it's like actually painful for him to wear. He can only wear it for like a certain amount of time, and he has to go back into the back to tank. And every time he puts it, they put it on him, it like hurts him.
Well, you gotta think, like, regardless of his limbs were chopped off with a fucking lightsaber, like, he's not gonna be a happy camper,
Yeah,
He's basically like, I don't know, like a cyborg almost at some point. Like,
yep.
he's just he's not even a real person anymore. He's just a fucking torso.
Yeah. I said they should probably like cover him in Vaseline so he can slip him in and out of the helmet and out of the suit and stuff. Just like a slippery little torso.
Just have the whole Death Star just have fucking ramps and shit so he can slide around. Just loop up the whole fucking spaceship.
Jump on the Vaseline stream.
Use the Force to glide around, man.
But again, like because I was really into the comics, particularly the Darth Vader comic when Marvel took over. There's a ton of content in that medium of him being like a badass motherfucker. So like, there's definitely like history for them to draw from there if they wanted to do that, right? So
I don't think you get Ewan McGregor and fucking what's his face back if you didn't have like a worthy script and a worthy like action set piece and so on. So like I don't think they would come back to it. They know how much how most fans did not like the prequels. I don't think you'd come back and be like, hey, let's do more of that. Like I think they want to redeem what they did. And so
you can see it I don't know if you've watched any of Hayden's press, but like you can tell that you can tell that he is like ready to like redeem himself and like so it's like I'm super excited. I'm one of the ones who like I don't mind Hayden Christensen playing Anakin. Like again, I think he was given like some pretty horrible lines, and I think that again, like storyline, there's a lot of like holes in those prequels where you're like, I don't understand how you, a smart person, can fall for this, and it's just like there's just so much of that, right?
You can make the best actor in the world look like shit if you give him a bad script. Like, it's not necessarily his fault that those movies are so bad. It's just the acting in those movies are really bad, and that's because the script is terrible. And
it also doesn't help that a lot of it was green screen. So it's like I also read another thing with Ewan McGregor, and he basically said like they were hard films to shoot because he's like it was kind of early on in the like CGI where it was like all digital environments, and he's like a lot of the times you're just talking to nothing, and he said like you don't really know how you did. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I get that, and I so far they're off to a great start. I think it's fucking great. I think it's interesting. I love the Inquisitors. I thought they're cool. They're different. I love that they're ruthless and just fucking butchering people and stuff. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that we immediately pretty much left Tatooine like pretty quickly on. We're already on to a second planet. Like, get us out of here. I don't need to be on Tatooine.
There are a couple other cool, noticeable inclusions. Forloom, who's one of the bounty hunters from the bounty hunter scene in Empire Strikes Back. He's like the black C-3PO with like the bug head.
Yep.
He was in it. He was one of the bounty hunters trying to catch Obi Wan, which was kind of cool. How did you like Kumail Nanjiani's character?
It was great. Yeah, I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, I knew he was in it, but I wasn't sure what he was doing. So
yeah, I didn't even know he was in it. Like, and if I did know it, I totally forgot about it. So when he came on the screen, I was like, oh, this is awesome. And he's funny, man. Yeah, I liked his character.
Yeah, it was very funny. Taking money from people and like
magnets on his sleeves and shit. Like, it's fucking funny. I hope he stays like within the series a little bit, but
me too. Yeah. Hopefully we see him again. That would be great. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, I loved like fucking even just seeing Bail Organa again and fucking
that was also good.
Yeah, like Owen and Beru and like all that. Like I love that they're bringing this all back in, and like you could tell that like Owen and Beru don't want Obi-Wan around Luke at all. Like they really just want him to be a fucking farmer and chill, and like I like that he didn't sell out Obi-Wan, but he was just like, fuck off, man, like we don't need you.
Well, it's like he said, right? Because when he gets approached by that Inquisitor and they're asking if he knows where a Jedi is or whatever, and he's like, "Thank you for not kind of giving me up," and he's just like, "Wasn't for you, man. Like, fuck you." Just like puts his own family at risk, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I dug that. I thought it was cool.
Joel Edgerton's a cool cast for that. Like, I know that he was in the prequels, but I mean, I think I read somewhere that I can't remember the showrunner's name, Chloe something, but she was saying like how grateful she's like. One of the best things from the prequel is like that choice for casting is. She's like, we benefited so gratefully for George casting Joel Edgerton to play Owen, because like now we have this great actor to continue on the role, right?
Yeah, no, I hope they're in it more. Like I hope that they keep building stories from the prequels, like you said, like filling in the gaps and interesting things like that. Like I think that's the strong suit of the MCU, is making bad movies better with extra scenes and other things, and like that's what they did with Rogue One, and I hope they do that with the prequels. It's like, let's make the prequels better, and like I hope they do that with the sequels too. It's like, hey, like, can we make 7, 8, 9 good by adding interstitial things or extend things or things that you missed or whatever? Like that'd be great.
It's funny because when we kind of kick off, we see like Obi-Wan's kind of disconnected from the whole Jedi thing, and he gets approached by a kind of a Jedi who's been looking for him, and he basically tells him to like live a normal life and like he's like, get rid of your lightsaber and stop helping people and just blend in kind of thing. And I thought like it actually pulled in some draw from like The Last Jedi, where like Luke was just like, I'm not fucking doing this anymore. Like, fuck this shit. The world's a fucking shitty place, and I don't want to fucking deal with it. And I was like,
it has to be exhausting to constantly have to do the right thing, you know?
Yeah. But I loved that, like, kind of like, it reminded me a lot of that. And it's weird because, like, I remember when I saw The Last Jedi, I was like, that doesn't feel like a Luke Skywalker trait. Like, I don't really buy Luke Skywalker doing that. But then we see it here, and it's like, oh.
But I still feel that way. Like, I don't think that's a Luke Skywalker thing. Like, I don't
either.
He becomes so jaded by that. Like, he was so the hero type that, like, he would always want to do the right thing. Where I feel like Obi-Wan, it makes more sense for. Like, basically, he's responsible in some way for the downfall of the Jedi. His best friend, his Padawan, he screwed up on and lost. Like, I could see him being like, I'm better off not, fucking things up any worse than I've already had.
Yeah.
And piecing out of the thing. So, like, I kind of get it for his character where he's like, you know what? Like, I'm not meant to be this hero Jedi. Like, I fuck everything I touch up. So I'm just going to piece out on it. Where for Luke, it doesn't make as much sense, I think. But
yeah,
I like that.
I don't love that either, the Luke one either. But I just found it was interesting because I was like, it's an interesting similar dynamic.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, even like the him burying his lightsaber out in the sand and him digging it up and like all that. Like, I loved all that because I was like, oh, this is really cool. Yeah. The droids, like I even though like they always seem to have a new droid in every movie, every show, everything. Like, obviously they want to sell merchandise and toys, and there's always a new droid that we've never seen before, and it's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't we see this droid before? But like, even Leia's droid, I was like, well, that's a toy that I would totally see buying. Like,
this morning it got revealed they're doing like a life-size prop, which leads me to believe that, and the Obi-Wan figure that came with, or like for this season or whatever, or this series comes with one as well. So my guess is that character is going to be an important part, or at least some kind of a part in this series. If she's getting a replica and an accessory as a figure, so.
Well, he's going to repair it probably in the next episode to get back to Leia, right? So yeah. I assume when he fixes it, he's going to add something to it or make it stronger or whatever, as like a protective droid from Leia or something like that follows him around. So I can see
maybe.
that.
I don't really see Obi-Wan as a technical person, but maybe. But
maybe not Obi-Wan himself fixing it. Maybe he brings it to somebody
else.
or whatever. But like, I could see that being a part of like, all right, I got to go fight somebody. This droid's going to protect you, Leia, as I fight off, the Inquisitors or whatever.
How did you like that interaction between Obi-Wan and the Jawa?
Oh, it's great.
Fuck, it was so funny. I loved it. I thought it was so good.
You need to replace your your chipset from water purifier.
Water moisturizer or vaporizer or something.
Vaporizer. He's like, I have to replace it because you just stole it from me.
That's very good.
Yeah, no, I liked it. Okay, come on.
I
liked it. I think it was really good. I'm very excited to see what, I hope the episodes are long next week. I hope it's not back down to 35 minutes. I hope it's an hour.
Me too. Well, the first one was 56, but a lot of it was that there was a good 4-minute recap, I think, from the prequels.
4-minute recap and the end credit scene on every episode. It's 5 minutes. So
yeah.
So it's actually.
I would love to see them stay around 45 runtime. Would be great. 50.
For sure.
There are a couple of things that I didn't, not that I didn't like, but there was in episode 1 when he gets on his little camel thing and he starts riding across the desert for the first time.
Yeah.
The CGI is very janky in that. I don't know if you caught it, but it really, really stood out to me. I was just like, whoa, it looks like someone just cut and paste that and just threw her up on top and didn't do anything to really blend it in. And
they made it in paint.
Oh, it looked bad. I was just like,
I think that.
Not good.
But you know what? I'm starting to realize that I think a lot of shows that are coming out right now is all this CG and stuff was done during COVID and working from home and everything like that. And I think that's why it looks so janky is you don't have a team of, 35 people, 50 people, whatever, working on this scene. You have one person at home working on this part, another person working at home on this part, and they're not communicating in person. They're sending it back and forth between each other, whatever. And it just doesn't work. You're seeing it in video games a lot. You're seeing it in a lot of shows that are coming out. It's just the CG is bad.
Yeah.
Look at Hulk. Look at that trailer for Hulk.
Did you see they fixed it? Did you see that they fixed it?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, they released. Apparently on the official website, they show a picture of the updated look for her, and they went back to the trailer and fixed some of the CG. It's still not amazing, but some of the really noticeable bad stuff has been fixed.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I hope that people going and saying this looks bad, fixing it.
Yep,
it's the same as the Sonic thing, right? It was when Sonic came out, the trailer was bad, and everybody yelled about it. And they fixed it. Yeah, sorry, but you have to make the show look good, or don't put it out. Delay it. I'd rather wait for the CG to be good than put out a show that looks like shit.
I agree totally. And the other thing I didn't love was I get that they're trying to make it seem like Leia is ahead of her time, but I just could not get into the scene where she got kidnapped, where those guys were chasing her. I just could not believe that those guys, 3 of them, could not catch her. And there was a couple points where one would run and would run right into a branch hanging over. It's dude, there's no way you did not see that. You need to act that better.
It was basically the villains from Home Alone.
It was literally that. They may as well run into each other and been ooh.
Yeah, no, totally. It was the Three Stooges. It was just we're just gonna be fucking fumbling over each other and running into things on purpose. It made no sense at all. But
while Flea was slapping the bass.
Yeah. You couldn't wait home to write the new Red Hot Chili Peppers album. Yeah, no, I noticed that too. And clearly they're trying to make Leia seem force sensitive as a child and all that, even though later on she has no force abilities at all until episode 8. But whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work in the timeline, but I'm fine with it. Maybe she hits her head and forgets that she knows the force. Who the fuck knows?
I think there is again precedence for it from the comics and the comics. So yeah. So, but even it was cool.
No, I mean I'm fine with it. All I really want is some badass fucking Jedi lightsaber shit going on. Some cool blaster fights, the Inquisitors chasing them. Just give me some cool
We're gonna
game
definitely
scenes. I'll
get
be
some
happy.
dope. We're gonna get some dope Obi-Wan Inquisitor fights. There's no doubt we're gonna get that.
I think
It's
so.
gonna be awesome. Yeah, that'll be
I
great.
think so. I'm very excited to see where the show goes. It sucks. I mean, I'm glad it's only 6 episodes in a way, but there's no room to fuck up. You can't have the third episode be hey, here's
Yeah,
a
like a
boring filler episode. Like, let's go. Let's keep this pace going.
Yeah, I agree. I like the pace we're having. I hope we stay that way, and I hope we continue to move around.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard to say now that we're. Well, I don't know. I guess we could go off planet a bit more, but it seems like he's pretty set on watching over the kids. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's the same as like Mandalorian or whatever. Like, he always has to go to somewhere to get something.
to do
And, like,
something.
I could totally see the same thing. He's like, okay, we had to go get this droid repaired, so let's go to this planet to talk to whoever. They get the droid repaired, and then he's like, all right, now we got to go to blank to get.
And then he goes in, and he's like, "Hi, I need to get this droid repaired." And then the guy turns around, and he's like, "Annie."
If Watto is in this, I will fucking die.
If
Give me
Watto's in
Watto.
this, it's gonna be amazing. I hope Watto's in this. Just so you know, my buddy bought a 3D printer, and he's like all over. He just like loves to print now, so he's always finding shit to print. And he sent me a link the other day for a Watto statue, like a little figure, like scaled to 6-inch scale.
That'd be awesome.
It doesn't move or anything, but it's still like whatever, right? So he sends it to me. He's like, "It's $3. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, get one for me." So he bought it. Now he's gonna print me a few. I'm gonna paint one for you and me.
Yeah, that's
funny.
awesome. No,
Annie?
fuck, if they put Watto in this, I would be so happy. I was nice to your mother, Annie. So good.
One of the other toy streams that I listened to, Toying Around, he was doing an impression, and it like all of a sudden kind of started to turn into like Borat a little bit, and he was like mixing Borat and Watto, and he's like 300 credits, very nice.
Very nice. I very much like your mother.
So good.
Yeah, no, I Watto's the best part of the prequels, man. Come on.
Oh shit. So yeah, I love this. I thought it was great. I left and I was like, this is fucking sick. I can't wait to watch them again. I'll probably watch these again this weekend too, because I really liked it.
Yeah, same. I actually watched them on my phone, so I'm gonna probably watch them again just to watch them on the big screen. But yeah, I dug them. I can't wait for the next episode. Like, for a show that I wasn't really that excited for, like I'm definitely way higher than I thought I'd be on it. So
Nice.
That's great. I like going in with little expectations because then it's so easy to surpass them. And
Yes.
same thing
absolutely.
for Marvel. Like,
Yep.
I hope it surpasses them.
Same here. I hope it does too. But we'll see on that one. But I've been excited for Obi-Wan, and like this is probably one of the most anticipated things for me coming out this year. So I would say, as somebody who was very excited, this definitely delivered for me. So I really liked it a lot.
Did you watch the Andor trailer?
I did watch the Andor trailer, and it didn't like get me really excited, but there were definitely some really cool imagery in the like that part where they walk out of that big empty Senate room, and I was just like, oh man, like I love see like that kind of timeline. That part of the timeline for me is awesome because it's like I'm super intrigued with the like transfer from the Republic to the Empire and like seeing that transition kind of happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we play around in that kind of time area, like with the Bad Batch cartoon that they put out there. So it's like I kind of got into it a bit there, and now it seems like we're going to spend some more time there. So yeah, I'm all for that. I love seeing that transition of going from clones to recruited army people. And
yeah, no, I thought it was really interesting. I don't know a lot about what the show's going to be about or whatever, but
me neither.
I thought it looked interesting, and I'm excited for it. I was like, if it can stay up to this quality of like Obi Wan and Mandalorian, I'll be very happy.
Me too. I think it gets risky when they go too heavy on the member berries. But again, like, I think I'd said this during Book of Boba Fett, but like, the problem with Book of Boba Fett to me was like, the only memorable things from the episodes were the member berries, were the things where I was like, oh, that's super nostalgic. But
that's like all it was.
That was all it was. The only things that stood out to me were the stuff that was playing off nostalgia, right? So I don't know.
There was no story to the show. It was member berries.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So as long as we can mix them in with a good story, then I'm for as much nostalgia as they want to throw at me. Like, honestly, I would love to see Ahsoka in some form in this. That would be fucking amazing. I don't know if we'll actually get to see that, but I would love it if we did.
I have a feeling you will.
I feel like we're going to spend a bit of time with Mandalore too, because I heard that they might touch on Obi Wan, the girl that he was in love with, that the queen, Satine, I think her name was. She's her name's escaping me. The Mandalorian girl with the red hair from Mando season 2. Her sister. And was the Queen of Mandalore, and Obi-Wan and her were in love.
Oh, okay.
So Darth Maul actually kills her in front of Obi-Wan. So yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to touch on any of that stuff, because I saw that some of the recommended reading and viewing for Obi-Wan, and there was a good chunk of the princess. I think her name's Satine, but I might be wrong. But yeah, there was quite a bit of that stuff in it. So I'm hoping we get.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that sounds cool. But I like, they're gonna want to set up like a show Ahsoka at some point, right? Like,
yes,
because that's supposed to come out this year too, right?
End of the year.
Yeah. So, and then Mandalorian 3's, I think they said February next year. Yeah. So we're gonna have a lot of Star Wars.
If it's good, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm saying, if it's great, then good. If it's bad, then you can keep it.
I'll still watch it, but yeah.
I know, it's still live, but I mean, as long as it's live action, I'll watch it.
It's better when it's good.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I like I said, I liked it. I can't wait for next week. I hope it's great. It kind of sucks that we won't get to talk about it really, but
I know that is a bummer, especially because you're liking it.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's going to be a lot of stuff that you'll appreciate more if you know the full story of too. So
yeah, I mean,
we won't get to chat about it.
We could chat privately about it, and when we come back, we'll have 4 episodes to talk about, so we can dig deep on that then.
Yep, true dat, son, true dat.
So yeah, that's the plan. Is 4 weeks from today. June 24th, we'll come back. We'll talk the last 4 episodes of Obi-Wan, and then the following week we'll talk about Ms. Marvel and maybe Jurassic World Dominion.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back in the swing of things. Then we got Thor coming up right after that, so it'll be a busy 3-4 weeks there.
Yeah, we'll have lots of stuff to talk about. Yay, so fun.
Great. And then we'll have a dry period from middle of July till fucking the end of August.
We'll figure something out. It'll be good. So next, yeah, there you go. Next week for me, I don't know if I'm doing Whip Wednesday or not. So I'm gonna probably. What's that?
So stay tuned. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. You never know. You gotta follow.
Well, so next week I'm starting my shelves finally, because I finally have finished all my projects on my plate. So I'm going to move over to my shelves next. So that'll be good. So I might do if I can finish my first shelf before Wednesday, I'll do a live stream, and I'll do my second shelf that's on my list, because it's the first one I'm doing is Power Rangers, which I love, but the problem is it's 7 feet in the air, and it's I don't really know how I can logistically get my cameras up there and be able to manage a chat session.
You need a shoulder
while I'm on a ladder. So I don't think I can do that one. But if I do my second shelf, which is my Spider-Man shelf, that's second on the list, it's kind of at a more normal level. So yeah. So if I can get to that shelf by Wednesday, I'll probably do a live stream. But if not, then I'll probably take a couple weeks off my live streams, because I'll be traveling and I won't really be able to do anything. So
Well, the only way you're ever going to know is if you're following at Customs by Matthew and you follow him on YouTube and then find out what he is up to and where he is going. And I'm king of segues now. I got used to it. It took me 72 episodes.
I like how Finn's trying to hump you while you segue.
Yeah.
How's little Finny doing? Is he feeling better?
He's still a little sneezy and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, I think he's just got allergies.
That happens. That's normal for dogs, I think. I think a lot of dogs have allergies.
I don't know. I mean, the vet said that it's not typical for him to have allergies, but he's like, he could easily pick up a cough from walking him and another dog passes by him and it transfers that way. Like, it's very easy for dogs to pick up little things. So,
Dog vid 19.
Exactly. Let's hope that doesn't happen, because if dogs start getting COVID, then we just cancel everything.
They're gonna get monkeypox instead.
That's what all my friends kept telling me all week. They're like, "Oh, maybe you don't have COVID, but you got monkeypox." I'm like, "Shut up."
Ryan, you need to stop having sex with monkeys. I already told you that.
No, it's usually koalas, but that's it for this week. And that's it till June 24th. So if you're not following Matt, follow Matt. If you want to follow me, follow Moose Milk Media on Instagram. Go over to our YouTube channel, follow that. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. And our art is done by Janie Milne Art. And that's it. We appreciate you watching and commenting and following along.
Moose Muscle Milk.
Thanks, buddy. Chat soon.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.